Hello, my name is Caleb Parsons. I'm going to tell you why parents should homeschool their children. Now, when most people think of homeschoolers, they think of a kid sitting down, researching something, maybe watching a video, and that's the end of the subject for the day. But the truth of the matter is that homeschooling is actually a lot more difficult and more rewarding than public schooling. Several ways are socially, financially, and academically. Socially, homeschoolers have the benefit of having a much larger age range in reference of friends. Public schoolers have normally from the age of 15 to 18, at least in high school, as a friend set. But homeschoolers have access to much more experience with ages up to 3 times their own or half their age, sometimes less. Homeschoolers also have access to activities that public schoolers do not. Say, for example, Renaissance fairs, reenactments, and rendezvous, which is a camp-out version of a reenactment. And since the hours of public school are normally from about 8 to 3 o'clock, then anything in that period is pretty much a no-go for a public schooler, especially during the weekdays. However, for a homeschooler, that's no issue. And a lot of these historical reenactments and Renaissance fairs happen during the week a little bit. So when you do this, you can have access to all sorts of things. You can also do many more professional plays. I did The Black Cyclone in Shelby, a historical play. That required practices relatively early on weekdays, but as a homeschooler I could do that. Homeschoolers also often discover what they want to do with their life much earlier than normal schoolers do. The reasoning for this is, once again, going back to the amount of people they have as friends, a greater age range. They get more experience from those and are able to ask the question, hey, wait a second, how does this pan out, this job? And as a result, they hear from someone who has actually experienced that and talked in depth with them and realized either this sounds perfect for me or this isn't quite right, I need to look for something else. Financially, there are also a lot of benefits. The National Home Educators Research Institute states that the average public schooler spends about $11,732 per student for their schooling. Homeschoolers, however, spend an average of $600 for homeschooling. Now, the average homeschooling time period is about, let's say, from 6 to 8 years. The average public schooling is from about, let's say, it's about 12 years. So, but the key here is that the public school is grant funded. So you're actually taking money from the government in that. Homeschool, however, it's out of the parent's pocket. But $600 spread over that period of time is not much at all. Homeschooling also allows students to, once again, participate in much more, shall we say, less pricey or no price at all activities that often happen during the week. Some examples include, once again, Renaissance fairs, reenactments, sometimes working at a festival. You can get in free that way. Homeschoolers also, believe it or not, for each homeschooler it decreases the national debt a little bit due to that federal funding. the current amount of homeschoolers as of now, when you factor that in, is about $27 billion less than would it be if they were in public school. If you ask me, that's a bit of a hefty sum. Now we go on to some of the academic benefits of this. Homeschooling allows students a chance to learn without the constriction of tests and such. Like, for example, public schools do a lot of testing and stuff, and a lot of homework packets and stuff. In homeschooling, if you learn, your focus is to learn, not pass a test, but to learn instead, and better yourself. Homeschoolers also can cater to their own learning styles, and as a result, learn better. For example, I'm a much more visual and tactile learner. I'm a show me. Put it in my hands and show me how to work it. In public school, I probably wouldn't do too well, because most of that is watch a video and take notes on this. Homeschooling also allows you to start looking at your future a little bit better and working towards it. So, homeschooling is actually quite beneficial, as you can see. So, if you are a parent, you should really consider homeschooling. Because the truth is, it might be in your family that home is where the heart is.